All right. So let's keep rolling here. We're back over in part two, and we'll get this sliced together on the podcast. I can't seem to pull off anything for the first time, maybe first couple times, without some sort of technical difficulty. But I get paid what I'm worth apparently for this.
It's like our live broadcast. We had a few hiccups with that, but I think we've got it down now. So when we do the trade show, so that's
three or four
cool.
more of these, we'll figure it out. So
Yeah,
all right, well.
In fact, maybe we'll get to do Fort Worth. I think that'll be cool too.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I think we should definitely pull that off. So, all right, well, let's keep going. What we were talking about, I think before I bailed out on us somehow, you were going to tell us a little bit about ASI and some of that stuff.
Yeah, the great thing, especially, well, really any time of the year, but certainly when you have downtime, I always tell people in my classes, listen, if you need any customers right now, today, here's how to do it. You can go to, you can Google ad specialty, or you can Google promotional products, and for anybody who doesn't know, that's the pen that you get at the bank, and not the one with the chain, but the the one they give you, and or your insurance agent gives you a frisbee that says Allstate Insurance or whatever. That's all ad specialty, and none of those guys, well, not very many of those guys, want to do their own production, and they love to find contractors, and I've said on here many times, and I say in all my classes, there are lots and lots and lots of screen printers, but there aren't very many good ones, and that's true of all the other areas of decoration as well, direct to garment. I mean, people will ask me all the time, hey, can you recommend just anybody that has a direct to garment machine? And I'm like, well, I don't want to recommend just anybody, because just because you had enough money to buy a machine doesn't mean you put forth the effort to learn to use it. Yeah. So but the ad specialty guys are always looking for decorators, and if you call them up and say, I have available either embroidery or screen printing or sublimation or direct to garment or cut vinyl, I have available production time, absolutely will guarantee that somebody's going to show up on your doorstep with a box of shirts. And the beauty of these guys, Aaron, is that they're educated buyers. Yeah. They know about setup charges, and they know about high resolution artwork, and I've had them show up before carrying film positives before and outputting their own films. So you love dealing with a buyer who you don't have to explain every detail of how to place a shirt order. They'll show up with a box of shirts and understand the process. So I love those guys, and always looking for decorators. So awesome. Something people should take advantage of.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So, well, what other things happen in the off season, so to speak, that you can maybe get out to and get some new business from?
Well, a big one right now, of course, is golf tournaments, and if you can get in the door with one golf tournament, you can get in the door for a lot of golf tournaments. And I used to actually work with a golf pro. He was not teaching me to golf. He tried to, and decided it was an impossible task. I even had to stay after class in golf class one time. I'm like, really? You're making me stay after class? But it didn't help. But what I discovered, though, is that golf pros, they don't necessarily make their money from teaching you and me how to putt. They make their money from the pro shop and from putting on these tournaments. And so all those golf towels and hats and polo shirts and all those items that you get when you go to a golf tournament, those are usually procured through the pro. So if you can get in with a couple of golf pros and build a relationship, then you're getting, you don't have to, let's say the Chamber of Commerce is having a golf tournament. You don't have to know anybody at the Chamber of Commerce. You can do it all through the golf pro. And so it's one-stop shopping, and of course here in Phoenix it's not tournament time. It's this is the time you can go play really, really cheap because it's 110 degrees outside. But the rest of the country, it's golf tournament time. So it's a really, really good niche that you can get in the door with.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Definitely, my father has gone beyond just being a golf fan into being an absolute addict, and
oh, really?
Yeah, I think he thinks that he only has two channels on his television, and ESPN and the Golf Channel, and
He's become that guy, huh?
yeah, and
Well,
he
you
lives.
were married on a golf course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He lives in Phoenix, and he's still going out and playing almost every day in the
Is it
hundreds.
really?
Yeah,
Well,
like
this is a good. I mean, if you want to go to some nice courses and play cheap, now's the time.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So
But
you were also telling me a little story about your trip in Vegas. How does that fit into this niche market thing?
well, yeah, of course, and we talk about this sometimes, but I'm walking down the street today, and here comes the tour group, and they've all got their matching T-shirts on, and one guy's carrying a flag, and everybody's following along, and those kind of events are going on all the time. So you can find out about them in the local newspaper, or what groups are traveling here or there. Even there are still a few travel agents around and getting trips like that put together. But my daughter, my younger daughter, who's 14, she just went to Disneyland. I guess it was about a month ago, and they all had the matching T-shirts. It was the middle school course, and so that's another group where you can sell lots and lots of T-shirts. And also at my hotel, lots of little dancers running around, and both my daughters, Aaron, as you know, have been dancers since they were tiny, and we would go to Vegas or New York City every year for dance competitions, and lots of sportswear there. I've actually done printing for 3 different dance and cheer groups that travel around the country, and it's really great business if you can hook up with these guys, because you have to be pretty efficient, because what they'll do is they'll place their orders, and then whatever they sell in Boston, then their next stop is Washington, D.C., and you've got to fill in the orders and ship the product to them. But my favorite story about that is my older daughter, when she was in middle school, went to a competition in Washington, D.C., came back, really cool T-shirt, and I said, that's really, really nice shirt. How much did you pay for it? $25. She goes, all the girls bought them. And I said, well, I printed that, right? I actually had the contract for that company to do all their printing. But and beyond printing for the actual companies who put this on, lots of vendors that you can rent booth space and actually go there and sell dance apparel, and you're going to be doing lots of extra smalls and smalls. You're going to be printing dance across the butt of a lot of nylon shorts, and this is a good opportunity for anybody who's involved in rhinestones, that sort of thing. Tons and tons of rhinestones in that marketplace, but it's huge business. And as I said, just these little dancers in their dance jackets zooming all around the casino, and for a week-long event, and they have these all the time, all over the place. So
Yeah.
again, it's a nice marketplace.
Yeah, and along those same lines, as many people know, I'm fairly addicted to volleyball, like my father is to golf. And
Right.
so, anyways, right now, Junior Nationals is going on for the indoor volleyball deal, and so my Facebook feed, my Twitter feed is just full of pictures and stuff and items from Junior Nationals. And the thing that I always look at, which is interesting to me, is not only do all those kids, there's probably, 8,000, 10,000 kids running around in the Houston Convention Center right now. They all have a jersey, but then they all have a practice shirt. And then the parents all have their shirts that they wear supporting the kids. And
Right.
then,
Right.
like I said, the moms all have their shirts, but their shirts are all blinged out.
Right.
And then, of course, they all have to also have headbands. They also have to have, hair ties, that happen to have bling all over them, so things like that. So,
And I'm sure bags for equipment and balls and things like that. So
absolutely. And one other thing that we're starting to see a lot more of, not as much in volleyball quite yet, but I'm sure it'll get there, but definitely in basketball, is not only they have bags, shirts, and hairbands, but they also are starting to have socks. we carry some sublimation socks at Coastal Business, and they're such a hot item right now.
I know that you, at all the trade shows, you wear the product that you sell. You've always
Absolutely.
got some pretty fancy socks. Let's see, Coastal Business Supply.
Yeah, yeah. I was out in Phoenix, not too long ago in May when we talked about that on the show. But the team I played with there at Nationals, we had sublimation socks on. It was our team name was the Arizona Raisins, and we had little raisin guys on the side of our socks. So it was cool.
Raisins in the sun.
That's
Well,
right.
and along those lines, Aaron, football season is around the corner. Football practice is getting ready to start, and those same groups of parents. Both my sons played high school football and won a state championship up in Kansas, but like all the dads had hats that said Blue Valley Tigers on the front, but then on the side had embroidered each of your kids' numbers. And that was a real popular item. Of course, all the moms are wearing the blinged out shirts, But when you're speaking of sublimation, what a great fundraiser it would be for somebody to do coffee mugs and have each football player's picture on there, and then be able to promote, fundraise for. Well, there's usually a booster club, and then a lot of schools will have a football booster club separate, because
Sure.
it's just such a big sport.
Yeah.
And what a great fundraiser for them to sell coffee mugs for $10 or $15, and with there you go, look at you, two regular guys coffee mugs.
Props.
Well, I brought sublimated coffee mugs back from Vegas for both my daughters, from Margaritaville. So.
Ah,
Um, but a great promotional product, I think, and now's the time. And along those lines, when you're talking to those parents, you're not going to sell football uniforms to these guys. They've got sources for that, but all of them are wearing T-shirts underneath those jerseys. They're wearing T-shirts for the defense. Will have their own set of shirts. The offense will have their shirts. They'll have shirts for in the weight room. And obviously, if you've ever done laundry for a 16-year-old high school boy, they're going to go through quite a few T-shirts. So,
yeah.
Again, it's a great item, either through the booster club or through the football coaches. So, and let's stay on that subject.
Well, hey, Terry, before I'm gonna jump in here, because before you get too far away from what you were talking about there, I did want to just ask, if you wouldn't mind telling everybody what you paid for those mugs that you brought back from Vegas.
I paid $10 each. I thought that was a pretty good price.
Yeah, that is actually a really good price. I'm actually shocked. I was expecting it to be closer to 20, but still, that mug probably costs whoever made it, and probably even them, $3, $4.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. So.
Most of the ones that they had were 15. I actually liked these better, and so I didn't even realize until I went to the cash register that they were only $10. So
nice.
But,
I just wanted to kind of point that out, because like I said, the profit margins in these things can be huge, which then goes into what you're talking about with it being able to do it as a booster, because not only is there money for you in it, but you can help that club raise money, and they're going to put a nice chunk of change in their pocket too. So
right.
It's a win-win situation all the way around.
And if parents know it's promotion where the booster club's going to make money on it, they'll pay $20 for that coffee mug. And we talk about this all the time, but people will pay for what they're passionate about. I mean, there's no limit to the amount of money they'll spend for something they're passionate about. They'll drive across town for 2-for-1 milk, but my kid on a T-shirt, I'll pay $20, $25 for that all day long. Sure. So, in the coffee mug, I think that'd be a great promotion, and then you just duplicate it from school to school to school.
Sure. And one thing that I'm stealing from our friend Jimmy Lamb, who we've talked about on the show and had on the show before. You're not printing a shirt, you're not printing a mug, you're printing a memory.
Right.
And so there's a different value associated with a memory, something, a keepsake, compared to a plain white T-shirt kind of thing. So.
Right. Exactly. So. Well,
Good stuff.
and you know, while you're there pitching to the school, there's another promotion that either cheerleaders or high school dance teams will do, and and you see them doing this all over. It's all the little elementary kids or the middle school kids can come and dance at halftime at one of the football games, or I've seen it at basketball games as well. And what do you get for your $20? You get a T-shirt, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I take it a step further. Also, I like to say to that advisor, cheerleading or dance team advisor, listen, I won't charge you a setup charge for these. If you let me put my logo and my phone number on the sleeve, they always say yes. So, do you think any of those parents that when I went to pick up my daughter there, and there were 100 sets of parents picking up kids, and absolutely most of those parents are have some potential of being in the market for what we have to sell. So I think that I think it's a good opportunity to do some self-promoting at the same time and help out the school.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, we'll probably get time for one more. Let's hit one more here, and then we can wrap up the show.
Okay. Well, it's let's talk about fall again. Fraternities and sororities are going to be buying right now for fall recruitment. It used to be a fall rush, but apparently you don't say rush anymore. I don't know why. But and I've told this story before, but my daughter Taylor, when she was a freshman in Gamma Phi Beta at Arizona State, she came home and said, "Dad, we spent on shirts for the week before recruitment, not recruitment week, the week before, $17,000 on T-shirts." And that's when she said, "Hey, Dad, can I come to your screen printing class?" And
Yeah.
you come to class. She became a screen printer and printed all the way through college in the second bedroom of her apartment. And right now, all of her equipment's in storage because she's now married and moving to South Carolina when her husband is done with officer candidate school. But she'll be set up again as a screen printer once she gets moved, and then probably printing on the military bases, because that is a huge marketplace. I know several printers, all they do is print for military bases, because there's 100 different organizations and they all want T-shirts.
Nice. All right. Well, let's see here. I think we're gonna splice these two shows together here, and so see how that goes when we play it on our podcast tomorrow. And I'm not sure if you can hear in the background, but my 3-year-old is having a meltdown, and they've decided to do it right outside the door to the basement here where I'm at. So
let me in.
I just hear in the background, "I want my daddy." So I'm melting right now. But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap up here. Definitely want to again make sure we mention our sponsor and
Sure.
thank Harry and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit more about Equipment Zone, Terry? What do you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. The show today is sponsored by Equipment Zone, with over 20 years experience selling garment printing equipment nationwide. Equipment Zone offers the new Epson F2000 SureColor direct-to-garment printer, and right now with a $2,000 rebate, which is pretty cool. They also sell the VelociJet XL DTG printer and the all-new Speed Treater TX automatic pre-treat machine. Has a full 16-inch by 24-inch pre-treat area, introductory priced at $36.95. And Equipment Zone also carries a full line of DTG inks and supplies, and you can go to equipmentzone.com. And chances are pretty good you'll end up talking to me.
Nice. All right. Good stuff. So what else? You talked about the classes that you had early on that you just had. What's coming up? What's in the pipeline there?
Well, I've got, again, ASI is not next week, but the week after in Chicago, so I'll be there for the week. And then I have my next class in Chicago, a screen printing class at Atlas Screen Supply. Won't be until August. And the Workhorse folks here in Phoenix, we're just picking a date for the next class. So tremendous class last week. So they're pretty excited about continuing on with that. And same with the direct-to-garment class at Equipment Zone in New Jersey. That will be also sometime probably late August.
Okay. Good, good,
How about
excellent
you? Do
stuff.
you have anything on your schedule?
Well, we just wrapped up a really awesome sublimation workshop last Friday the 27th, and we had a full house and all day event. Jimmy Lamb actually came out and took care of the
He made
morning
it on his
section.
flight, and
He made it on his flight. I didn't have to do his section for him, so I actually was able to get some work done in the morning part, and then I was able to pop in the afternoon, and we did a bunch of hands-on stuff. Everybody printed a
very nice.
mug and printed a phone case and printed we had some really printed some socks, obviously, and cool stuff, hands-on stuff, lots of good questions, lots of good interaction. Man, we had a ton of fun, and had one gal comment on our Facebook page. Thanks a ton for the awesome party. I mean workshop. So she had a good time.
Well,
She was really fun.
if they go home and feel like it was a party, it's well done then.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we don't have anything specifically planned yet, but we've got some things in the works. As far as our third quarter workshop that we'll be doing there, going to be doing like wide format, all over sublimation type stuff, kind of cut and sew and full coverage garment decoration. So we're pretty excited about that, getting a different thing going on there. So looking forward to that. More info coming on that soon. Let's see here. There's some trade shows coming up. Little ways out. We got a little bit of a break here, but as you mentioned, you've got the ASI show in Chicago, and that's actually on here. What I got off their website was July 15th through the 17th.
I believe that's correct.
Right on the heels of that is the NGN Show in Denver, and we had Sean Stewart from NGN on the show with us not too terribly long ago, so get over there and check out his show. The first show I can think of in the Denver area, period.
Right, I don't recall anything ever being in Denver.
Yeah, I mean, at least I'm not quite the what do you call it, the veteran that you are, but I am 14 years into this, so that's.
Well, Denver. I went to a college bookstore show in Denver one time. It's a great area, especially this time of year. It's beautiful there, and you can even go to the ski resorts, and they've got little carts that you can take down you take the lift up, and then you take these little carts back down the mountain. It's really a lot of fun. So a lot of cool stuff going on in Colorado this time of year.
Yeah. Oh, I love Colorado and Denver and stuff like that. I lived in Colorado Springs for a while, and
Exactly.
Enjoy getting out to that area. Especially when I was living in Phoenix, getting up to Denver in the summertime was always great to get up into the mountains and stuff like that. So, let's see what else is coming up. Little further out, but ISS next show is coming up on the 3rd of August in Las Vegas, and that's the 3rd through the 5th. So that should be a good show. They've been doing that show, I think, 3 or 4 years now, and I think they're getting some traction. That 3rd through the 5th, I think, is kind of in the middle of the week, or maybe it starts on a Sunday. I can't remember, but they've always had it kind of a little bit different time frame, but it seems like that's really starting to work out for them. And then,
one nice thing about Vegas is if it's on odd parts of the week like that, you can get really good hotel rates. Because, as you know, the rates go sky high over the weekends, but during the week, pretty reasonable.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Maybe that's a good reason. And I'm guessing that show floor space has a similar pricing structure. So
yeah, probably so.
yeah. No, that's good stuff. And then shortly after the Vegas show for ISS, we've got another NGN show coming up, actually right here in St. Louis. It is the 8th through the 9th of August, and I always joke that I can actually walk from my office to where that show is located, and so that's good for me. Not that I would walk, but that would be like exercise.
But you have the potential.
That's right. If I had the energy for it, I would do it. And then Embroidery Mart in Nashville is coming up, so another good excuse to get back to Nashville, a really fun city there. And this is a great show that Jennifer Cox over at NEP has been putting on this show for quite some time, and they've moved it into that new facility over that beautiful new convention hall that this was at as well. So
that's a great venue, and I understand that's their big show.
Yep, definitely. So looking forward. We're actually going to be out at that one, the 15th through the 16th of August there, and another kind of show that I discovered that may be worth pointing out to people, kind of a little off the radar, not in our typical realm of thinking, but the Magic Show, and it's not magic like doing tricks, but I think I can't remember exactly what it stands for, but it's men's apparel, garment, something along that realm. But if you go to magiconline.com, you can get information about it. But a lot of fashion stuff. You get a lot of the big time fashion people out there, and they do have a sourcing show. So basically, maybe along the same lines of what PPAI and ASI have done with their kind of sourcing section. So that's the 17th through the 20th of August.
And that's in Vegas as well, correct?
Yeah, that's in Vegas as well. Yep, correct. And it's a pretty big show. The entirety of it. They're actually listed at both the Mandalay Bay Convention Center and the Las Vegas Convention Center. So,
wow.
I think it's worth getting out there and checking out. We're actually gonna go hit that show up this year, and we won't have our own booth, but we're going to be partnering with a couple of our vendors with Epson and Vapor and get out there and show some sublimation stuff. So pretty excited about checking that one out. I will be getting on a plane in Nashville and heading directly to Las Vegas. So
nice. Back on the road again.
Yep. Wife will be a single mother once again. So. All right. Well, any other last minute stuff here, Terry, before we head off? We hopefully have overcome, and like I said, I hope my audio splicing skills are good, and we make a nice clean show it'll play tomorrow, the 4th. So if you
very good. Well, the only thing I want to say is wish everybody a happy 4th of July.
Absolutely, and on video, Terry, cheers. And
cheers, my friend.
This definitely felt a lot more like the old days of sitting at the bar. You had a repeat story, so that brought back memories, and all good stuff.
I do tend to do that.
Yeah. One of the many things I love about you, bud.
Some of my stories bear repeating.
Absolutely, it is a good story. The opportunity for your daughter to come to one of your classes is actually a really cool thing. So
exactly.
That maybe someday my son will be interested in something that I could teach him.
He's just interested in talking to you right now.
He really is. So I better go do that. So anyhow, thanks for spending some time with us, and we'll be back to our normal podcast next Friday. I don't remember the date. So what's 11th, I think?
The 11th, correct.
Yep, the 11th of July. We'll be back, regular time, regular location, but we will try these again and do some other things. And you and I talked, Terry, about maybe doing some like half-hour type deals, covering specific topics, getting detailed, maybe even talking about some of the topics we were covering with getting into screen printing and getting into direct-to-garment and stuff like that. And
right. I think that's a good idea.
Talk some other guests and stuff into coming on and doing a video chat. We can make this a 3 or a 4-way entertainment here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a plan.
All right, man. Have a good night. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right. See you.